láyé olúgbọ́n mo ké borùn méje ẹ ò máa kọ yí lórin láyé àrẹ̀sà mo ké borùn mẹ́fà ẹ ò máa kọ yí lórin láyé ìsẹ̀yìn èmi ra kókò mo ra rán mo ra sányán bàbá sọ àfọ̀lẹ́ ló lè pélé.
Hello everyone, my name is Adeyemo Adegbemiga Ganiu and I welcome you all to my new Yoruba Abrahamic YouTube video. Today I want to touch on the Jebusites, the Jebus and Jerusalem collectively, what those names actually mean. They are likely references to the Yoruba people of Ijebu and how the world perceive them in breakdown. If you haven't been watching my video, please, you need to pause this video and do so right away. And especially the videos of Prophet Noah, which is Onuiwabi, or Nimrod, or which is Lamurudu. So by watching those videos and coming back here, it will enable you to understand more of what I'm about to say. But nevertheless, let me just chip in and recap. Nimrod is Namurudu and is also known as Namrud. And those who addresses him as non-Yoruba people, non-Shemitic people, they are right in their way because he later founded his own dynasty outside Yoruba land when he left West Africa to found Sudan. And also in the case, those who also identify as Yoruba people, Shemite, are also right in their own way because West Africans of Ile-Ife was initially where he dwelled before his unskilled adventure led him to North Africa. It's like a father who has 3 children. One of the child can decide to build his own legacy and detach his legacy from his father. So those who describe him as a one-man legacy person, they are right. And those who also stay affiliated with his father where he emerged from, they are still right. As a matter of fact, the idea of Shem, they are mere names that meant nothing to history. I don't know why people argue over. You should be concerned about if the history is actually true or not. Name could be anything. A name for a yam is issue. Some call it Izu, some call it Idu, but the first to me that is issue. So we should stop arguing on what is not necessary. Mind you, history has different way of approach. This is how I understand it for those who can really think deeper. Therefore, directly or indirectly, Lamrudu was a Yoruba descent whose legacy later detached from the Yoruba people outside West Africa. And in breakdown, I have given my own analysis of what I meant in my video about Nimrod, everything. So you people should go there to go and check what I mean, what I'm saying now. So you don't just jump in this video and say you don't understand. And Lamrudu or Nimrod founded the place we know today, which is alternatively known as Ile-Ife number 2, the second Ile-Ife, thousands of years ago. Among the Yorubas, the second place Ile-Ife was now lettered up as Ile-Ife or Wahadaye, and while all the Yoruba-related descent or the community or ethnic side collectively, also the indigenously dubbed themselves as the Wadai people in a collective terms or clans. And from the Abrahamic view of the region, the land is also dubbed as the Kush land. Meanwhile, the word Kush is never a name of a person, to be precise, but rather a Nubian person and the Nubian people's affiliation with that land where Nimrod founded. Let me give you a good instance. For today, Tarsus is a place in Rome, and the Paul of the New Testament author was also from Rome. And if we intend to call him today, we always address him as Paul of Tarsus, which in alternatively can also be said Paul, the rooted son of Tarsus. Let me give you another one, like the case of Alexander, the son of Macedonia. When we say Alexander, Macedonia is a place, not a man. Alexander is the hero. So saying Alexander the son of Macedonia, you are also alternatively saying Alexander the true son of the Macedonian region. Likewise in the case of Kush, if they said the Canaanites are people of Kush or are sons of Kush, they're also saying Canaanites are the inhabitant people in the land of Kush. Kush is never a name of a person. You need to also make your own deeper research. The way English portray words is different from how the Yoruba understand it. But you have to keep taking reference from some of the like-minded words that you've heard before you understand what it means. Because the word you are saying, most of half of what you are reading directly from the Torah are idiomatic expression. So you take a typical Yoruba man who understands both sides of the Yoruba, at least to some extent, to be able to break down to some certain word. Because reading it directly will never give you a common sense. Like in the case they will say, one of Baba Onuiwa's son naked him and expose him and make him become a shame. In Yoruba people, that naked is an idiomatic otulashiri. He disgraced his father, as in he put his father into stress. It does not mean he puts off his father's clothes and make him walk around naked the way people. So there are so many idiomatic expressions. So when we say people of Kush or sons of Kush, they are basically referring to the inhabitant people or inhabitant of the land of Kush, not biological sons of Kush like the Canaan. I hope you get it. So Kush was never a name of a man or a human. Analytically, Kush was derived from another Yoruba word from Akushe, poor people, people who lack, and it was in reference to the Nubians' infertility or barrenness by nature, which led to the impoverished conditions of the inhabitants thousands of years ago, when you even actually compare with the extreme prosperity with the Yorubas of West Africa. Because across West Africa, there are endless of great medieval civilization there. The Mali, the Oyo, the Kush, the Benin, the Nok, the Ghana, there are great civilization there. So this is why they compare and contrast it, because some of the people here are also some of the people there. They describe that place as the place where civilization is not really the economic is not really good. Do you understand? So the word Kush is in reference to their inhabitant condition, not a name of a man like it is being commonly portrayed today. And everything that made this is why everything that even made Egypt and Nubian civilization to be historically great today, directly or indirectly, came from the same West African people and Central Africa. Like a aid given to someone, you are giving them aid or based on mutual support from maybe businesses. Like in the case of gold is not inhabitant to the people is not inhabitant to the land of Egypt or Nubia. But if you check out their civilization, they use gold. Likewise, the use of iron. The best artistic design of art in the ancient time came from Ife. The Ife bronze and the Benin bronze are the best in the world. They are masters indeed. And if you go to Egypt, all this artistic design, where did you actually think it came from? It came from the same Yoruba people. The people who founded the place, who does everything that makes it, like the Negro. If you check out the account, the book of the Constantine the Holy, during his adventure to the Phoenix in Egypt, he said it, that the Negro faces he saw there, especially in the Giza and all these artistic, they have the same 100% similarity to the Negroes of the Central and West Africa. The same Yoruba people, they are the same people. They are the one. And you likewise add in the Torah how the Egyptian enslaved the Israelites to design to make Egypt great, all this thing in ransom. So directly or indirectly, everything that made the Egyptian and Nubian kingdom was never indigenous to the land of Egypt or the Nubian area. They all came from West Africa and Central Africa. So that is what we also need to do. In a nutshell, Lamrudu left Niger or Negro land or Ile Awomo Aniogo and headed down straight to North Africa to found the place, Nubian land, and to found that place which we now know today as Nubian land, which did encompasses the territory of today's Egypt, Israel, and also stretched as a nation without border or demarcation or discrimination. And within the large territorial region, the Nubian region or Kush region became where the collective Yoruba Ile-Ife minority immigrant now dwelled in North Africa. So like I keep saying, the ancient Egyptian location is an open terrace where different migrants now take colonies within it. Do you understand? So the word Nubia or the ancient Nubian colonies was a name given as an homage or reference to a West African hero or Orisha, Enyorishada, who is commonly dubbed as a prophet in the Abrahamic book, and today whose indigenous name was whose title name was Baba Oluiwa or Oluiwa from Ondo land. Do you understand it? So the man is directly from Ondo man. He is probably one of the deity which the Ondo people still honor today, Tiwonbo. But because we don't know his real name anymore, because these Abrahamic names are mere titles. Muhammad is a title, ẹni tí a mú láti inú odò Ifá. Yeshua is a title, iye àwọn èṣù, iye èṣù àti àwa Yeshu, and all these things are titles. So when an obsessed and extremist just come out angrily and say Muhammad is an evil person, it's like saying a teacher is an evil person. A teacher is not a name of an individual, it is a title of a general person. This is why I say you have to take it easy when it comes to religion. All people need is explanation. Try to buy their attention. Make them see reasons from what they believed in. Show them the right path. This is what you should look into. You don't need to be aggressive when it comes to religion or trying to explain to people, unless someone who is not interested to listen. Then let it be. There's no compulsion in faith. So Noah's identification as an Ondo Yoruba claim was conclusively in reference to how the Torah detailed him. So I didn't just sit down in one place and say Noah is from Ondo. Likewise in the case of how bitumen surplus became available to him within the Ondo, Ife, and the Benin area, where the same bitumen which he uses to build a gigantic Noah, whatever the ark, as it is being said. And the Yoruba word of Oko was what the Bible also referred to as Ak. Oko became Okojuomi, a transporting ship on water. His traditional character or righteous legacy now became what shaped the total Yoruba people, as the Ijebu-Nubian and endless others like that in references. Therefore, the divine character of Baba Oluiwa now became what we Yoruba culturalize as an optimal guide for the entire Yoruba people, sons and daughters, and held with legacy. Meaning that to be called an Omunduabi today, that means such person must have respect. Highest sort of respect to the elderly people, must be calm in nature, must be liberal in mind, must be less aggressive, because all these righteous things became what the Torah said in regards to Noah Baboliwa, that he works with heaven with a righteous character. He was the perfect human, who was perfect with his generation. And these are the characteristics of Baba Oluiwa. In the year 2021, around January also 25th, the Oba of Ijebu, which is Oba Adetona of Ijebu Kingdom, he openly declared that and said the Yorubas are not children of or progenies of Oduduwa, but are rather from this same Noah, Oluiwa. Do you understand? And if others stress that it was through this Baba Oluiwa's daughter named Ogborongodo that they had ties with, that it was through this daughter that the Jebu people began to have ties with them. Do you understand? And after this Oba Adetona's claim, many Yoruba began to wonder where these assertions are coming from, even though they can never question the kings, because for you to become a king in Yoruba land, you must have had hidden information about the throne you are. They must have lectured you. They must have exposed you as a king to the history of the kingdom you inherited. So the man is saying this based on the fact he learned as a king of that region. So he said, my own Ijebu people, we are not from Oduduwa. But we need to understand that he is extremely right if you check it, because the Ijebu portion were the founder of today's Nubian region between the east and northern side of Africa, And that was even when ancient Sudan colonies used to be part of the Egyptian large territorial domain. And we can as well see endless references like in 2017 report that showed the genetic research about how it correlated from the Nubian with the sub-Saharan people from West Africa. We know that the Jebu didn't just found the Nubian region. The Jebu was also equally part of the Egyptian ancient kingdom, the royalty, like the Ramsey III. They said his genetic studies even showed that the hypoglobe or something was reference to the West African people, which is the Yoruba people. Likewise, why we now have the likes of Obahalara, the founder of today's Nubian kingdom civilization, because the civilization from the Nubia was well extended to Egypt. His name was King Alara in today's, who his brother was Aramoko, Alara of Ajero, and his kingdom is still at today Aramoko of Ekiti, today's western part of Nigeria, the former Ondo state. So Baboluwa was from Ondo town. The founder of the civilization of the Baboluwa was from Ondo, and his legacy became what the entire Nubian people now head on to portray his relationship to him. The founder of the same Nubia civilization was also Obalara from the same Ondo town, whose territory or kingdom is still at Aramoko Ekiti till this very day. So the drama or the struggle or structure between the Nubian land, one party to another, I can't really tell. Because those who are now reoccupying today's Nubian kingdom are not indigenous to the land at all, whose biracial descent are rooted there or even have any historical connection with the history I'm talking about. They came into North Africa as a result of their forefathers who conquered the North Africa completely and redominated the place and pushed out the indigenous, while the black indigenous that remained there still head on to are now completely tossed out of the media recognition. The blacks are still remaining there. Like in the south of Egypt, the blacks are still there. These are the ones who head on time to their African ancestry. They don't want their history to be Arabized with the Persians. They head on to their history and they kept on their history alive. So in a nutshell, in the ancient Nubian land, the territory was renamed after Prophet Noah, which is Babonui Wabi, and who is also an Orisha in Yoruba land, and collectively the most and commercially outside West Africa. And that Omonuabi, the name was later abbreviated to Nuabi or Nuabian or Nuabia, and then to Nubi and Nubian. Just exactly the way Eje-Odua is now alternatively started to be nicknamed as Judah, Wida, Wadai, or Wadai, or Judah, and so on. And also, we should also know that the Nubian territory was later divided into three parts by default. The Jebel Bakkah, where it was renamed after the Ijebu-Nubian at the mountain region, which is now commonly pronounced as Gebel or Gebel Bakkah at Nakpata of Nubian land. And in Yoruba, it is Ijebu or Ijebu Alalubarika Nile Akpata Omoluabi. Do you understand? So it's a continuation of the word. And again, the other part is the Dongola region, which has been archaeologically proven by the Poland scientists and archaeologists who came earlier, I think around 2015, and they actually discovered that King David really lived there. These are reports that doesn't make the main media stream, because anything sensitive that can liberate the Africans, especially the Yoruba people, they always sweep it under the rug. You can make more research about it. They said King David, which is Odudua, initially had his kingdom then, and he was addressed as Odu. And when he came to Yoruba land, Ateworowogbin, to become the king at Ile-Ife with some of his family, then he continued to be dubbed Odua, from Odu over there to Odua. So, and that is for that. We also had it that according to me now, the last one, the Meiro, The Mero is arguably became the city where all different types continue to come together. Ibi tí omi èrò, ọ̀pọ̀ èrò máa ń wá. And the word of Arab was also in reference to the Shemitic language through the Shemite, the Yorubas or the Abrahamic people of the Torah, which was derived from Arabi, and in Arabic text today last Arabi. You understand? And which only means brotherhood. My other brother from another mother, my ethnic brothers from the other side. So these are the names. Arabi or Arab are the names which the Yoruba people from Dongola always uses to address the Yoruba people from Jebel Bakkah, because it only means my brother from the other ethnic side. Until today, no scholars among the Islamic globally have been able to tell us that the Arab means otherwise, because the word Arab absolutely had nothing to do with religion, absolutely had nothing to do with culture of anyone or tribe or race or anything. So but modern day now, we've coined it around religion so much, and they've registered it in our brain to actually think that anything Arab belongs to the pale Arab, who are not even indigenous to Africa or Muhammad to begin with, according to the Quran. So, and among the Ijebu people, they subdivided themselves into two groups by names. Furthermore, and the Jebus of West Africa, which are the majority in today's southwest of Nigeria, they dubbed themselves as Ijebu-Nubian. If you're a Yoruba person, you will understand that Ile-Ife is in reference to my other home or my land of origin from a faraway place. Ijebu-Nubian. You understand? And in the other Ijebu, which are in today's North Sudan, at Jebel Bakkah, now continue to be addressed as the Ijebus ni Isale. Ijebu ni Isale was what they misspelled as Jerusalem or Jerusalem or Jerusalema. This is why, even though it is known as Jerusalem, the real indigenous people Abrahamically are known as Jebus. Jebu, Ijebu ni Isale, ni Jebusalem or Jerusalem, depending on how you can say it. So indeed, King David had political differences with these Jerusalem, the Jebus, during his quest to reunite all the Yoruba ethnic groups across Africa with the help of the Almighty, which also led to why we now connectly dub ourselves later in the earlier time as Eyara Oba, people of lineage of kings, collective ethnic lineage of kings. And it was of recent that the Fulani or something derogatorily mispronounced the name. It's a thought of mocking as Yoruba, and the Yoruba people actually think that is the source of our name. It's never. How can we be calling ourselves? They will call you a stupid person, and you actually accept to make that your legal name. No. The name Yoruba initially had a good name, so it's a mockery name that they use to derogatory. As in, people need to take. They can't call you Olori Buruku Kodegbabe, and you should accept the Olori Buruku as your name of acceptance till today. Who does that? So as years went by, some Ijebu sprang out of Ile-Ife from King David indeed. Contrary to what the Obaditano said, after Oduduwa successfully humbled them, because the Jebu, they had every right to refuse to humble themselves before King David, because King David, their existence on earth, Jerusalem existence, predated the coming of King David Oduduwa. They are very ancient, so he's like a small son of the tribe trying to humble his grandfather. Come on, they will refuse, but because King David had everything within heaven's reach, he also humbled them. And what he did was not to even cause havoc. He was trying to make sure that all ethnics are united and they had peace. They all really recognized themselves as one family. And the peace was what lasted today. Because David fought, Oduduwa fought, he eventually lost his sight, even at old age. Because he made sure that he achieved this. This is why heaven still, his name now supersedes all the rest of Orisha till today. Everyone wants to identify with Oduduwa, King David. It's because of this legacy and his hard fight to make sure that peace reigned amongst ethnic side. So Oduduwa decided to, it's also in reference in the Torah to how King David Oduduwa decided to take shelter among the Ijebu people too. And I guess that is where, because every land he humbled, every Yoruba pre-existing ethnic land he humbled. he always tried to put a representative of him either as a son to govern the land temporarily in order to keep them, making sure that peace is maintained and unity is maintained. So he took land in the Jebu, the Jebusite land at the low mountain region and all those things. And some Ijebu too can also say they have migrated into West. So we have random origins of these Ijebu people. Some that migrated back from West Africa after the fall of North Africa. Some that came out of Oduduwa after Oduduwa eventually took wife from them and the King David or had children by them. Some are indigenous Ijebu people who has been in southwest of today's Nigeria all their life. They never left. Where Shiba or Ashebi Oba, the lady of Ijebu also sprang out from, and some Ijebu from different. So the Ijebu of today is not a coincidence that Ijebu now have different type of Ijebu Shagam, Ijebu Kinikon, and each of them has diverse history of origin, even though they are all collectively Yoruba people by default. So it is a deep story. And lest I forget, we also know that these Ijebu collectively as people today, they are collectively as an ethnic Yoruba side, they now became the most powerful, spiritually, in the entire Yoruba race and across the world. Because this Ijebu, most of their knowledge now comprising not justify anymore. They also learned some of the Babylonian powers when they brought that power to West Africa after the fall of Egypt. This is why they have the good and bad power among them, even though they still recognize that their divine ancestry power or spiritualism is Ifa. So Ijebu are extremely powerful, whichever way you want to go about it. They are just like that, and they honor different Orisha we can't even imagine anymore, just like the Ile-Ife people. So they are a standalone Yoruba people who have their own entire history that is different to the Ife people, and they are extremely powerful as ethnic side. So this is where I will come to an end. I will see you in my next video. This is my own collective claim, and you can also make your opinion known below respectively. Help me share it, help me press the like button, and let your comment know below. I'll see you in another video. Right, bye for now.